off to consummate it. That's what he said on Twitter. But yeah,
Need a wedding weekend for Minecraft or something. Right?
Yeah. He said he wasn't doing any. There was no Minecraft theme to it at all.
To the wedding?
Yeah.
That would have been painful if there would have been.
But yeah, he weighed in this morning because he just got back. The adventure update will be coming out. Jeb has
Do we have
working,
a date for that? We don't, do we?
No, it'll be after the PAX event, which is on August 28th.
Okay.
And PAX is a big convention in, I believe, Washington.
Man, he has put some work into this update, or at least
they all have
made sure to not let us see it early.
They've stated that there's at least 9 new crafting recipes. We're not entirely certain about what they are.
Wow.
There's at least one new mob. They've showed us the Endermen, which are so freaking scary.
Terrifyingly.
Yep. Clouds won't go through buildings anymore. Rain and snow will render faster. Those are 2 things that have been announced to us.
And a height ceiling raise.
Yep. Which is the game
adjustable.
The game will stay at 256, but you have the ability to adjust between 256 and whatever you want.
Anything really?
Probably 512, maybe 1024.
Ooh.
I don't know more higher than that.
I'm making some big
limited
buildings.
Flying in creative mode. The new obviously the NPC villages, town borders, claim land, wells and villages, blacksmiths.
Dang.
Yeah, lots and lots of awesome.
I mean,
things.
we're also getting all the RPG elements of like leveling and
strongholds, underground ravines, biome codes, a couple of new ones, mushrooms, larger ones, rivers.
Oh yeah, there's giant mushrooms now, aren't there?
Yep. He said they're huge, and he showed some pictures of them.
Yeah, I think there was one right next to an NPC like house or something like that that got out in one of the
hold the charge bows, critical hits, farming options, cocoa bean trees, plantable pumpkins, melons. Animal breeding, new food system. Food no longer directly heals, but it heals indirectly now.
Yeah, like it does. You're fed, and like if you're more well fed, you gain health faster.
There is now a food meter. Food is stackable. Oh geez, 5 new food items: cooked chicken, raw beef, steak, melons, cooked pork.
Do we get mutton?
I don't know.
Lamb.
Lots of new achievements. Sprinting. Spike blocks, arrows, glass panes. Lighting between day and night cycles, warming light from torches, new textures for lots of things, new launchers, things that will let you list your servers.
God.
Yeah.
Anymore, and he's gonna have to freaking rename the game.
Yeah, new multiplayer server lists, modding support that goes a little more further than what it has. Player lists, which you play in multiplayer, you'll have a player list of all the people who are playing. That's a lot of stuff. Minecraft, the game of the millennium.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put it out already because. Some of the mods I have seen, the tornado mod they were just showing off. Have you seen that?
I have not, but that sounds intense.
When it rips the land and then throws the blocks far away, and they actually land where they fall. It's
do
amazing.
They like snap in, or do they land as like a floating block?
And then land.
That is
on the ground
insane.
or whatever's there.
Wow,
that is
insane. It won't pick up player set blocks. So everything else around it just throws everything everywhere.
So your house could basically just be floating.
Unless it's made of dirt, I suppose. I don't know. It just had the first one, and then they had another ambiance one with music. All it does was change all the music.
Aren't we getting more music with the update?
Yeah, I think C418 is making more music.
Okay.
I don't know if he's making more music, but I think they're adding more music.
Yeah, I just want them to at least have it so that it is playing music consistently, even if it's like very sparse music consistently.
But there was a guy who made a mod. It was they were just showing it off, and it added tons and tons of like ambiance things, like where you're standing in the world, there's more difference in winds. Like if there's no trees in front of you, there's wind hitting you, and you hear it, and the water is making noises, and lava made noises, and just like it's crazy, all of this awesome stuff.
Yeah, that is cool actually.
But yeah, Minecraft. Obviously, if you haven't played it, do you own a computer?
Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, there's almost no excuse. But if you have not,
they just passed 3 million people who have actually paid for the game, which means Notch said
way
there's
more
probably like 12
pirated.
million people have played it. My girlfriend's played it, and she doesn't own it. She played mine, so that counts. But yeah, literally the game is massive. You can literally do whatever you want.
I mean, it's the only indie game that ever even has become this much of a public public
domain.
Yes, public domain. It's bigger than I would say pretty much. Well, probably 90% of AAA games, really. only like the very like tip top of games I would say can even compete with Minecraft, which is really impressive for a game made by a dude.
What is the current price?
The current price? Oh, I don't know. I bought it so
25
long
fun
ago.
dollars?
Is it 25?
25 fun euros.
Okay. All right.
25 euros. Yeah.
Which
is a fantastical in American dollars.
American Fun Dollars?
In American Fun dollars, 3 million copies.
Oh, I thought you were saying that's how much it costs.
3 million
copies
for the 25 euro fun dollars is 108 million US fun dollars.
Jeez.
So, yeah. Notch, you've made a fair bit of money.
He's a rich man.
Yeah, and that woman that he married, money.
Speaking of money, by the way, do you want to transition into this Eve thing?
We can transition to Eve thing.
Pretty crazy. The biggest Eve scam ever, which is it actually has a lot of competition for, just recently went down the other day, actually. Let's see, when was it? Oh, I don't have a date on here.
13th, I think.
Was it? Okay, about the 13th, they managed, beforehand, the second, like the original highest scam ever, earned in the real world 45,000 fun dollars for these people. Because they got this much in-game currency and then basically just, transitioned it over to real money. This time, they managed to earn 850 billion ISK, which is the in-game amount, which translates to, I believe, yes, 51,677 fun dollars in the real world. We have something on Facebook here.
No, I was showing that we got new people liking us.
Oh, yes. New friends all over the place.
New friends liking us on Facebook. Thank you for liking us on Facebook.
But yes,
in
Eve, it was a false investment firm that they set up.
Brilliant.
And yeah, they tricked a lot.
Well, there was one guy
people
who stole. I think it was like 150K.
Yeah, it's insane. They made supposedly that amount of money, which if it has no scale for you because you've never played Eve, someone who played Eve, who wrote this article, said that it would probably take about 70 lifetimes for anybody to try to earn that much money. Which means it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's enough for 240 years of playing that game, supposedly. So that is literally the biggest scam ever on there. And I think probably one of the biggest scams ever in a video game, just in general. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that WoW ever really faced anything like that in terms of actual scamming rather than just people who were gold farming.
On my guild once.
Really? But I mean, what kind of turnaround are people getting out of that compared to this?
I don't think it's.
He probably made
massive
50K in gold, and so he probably that would have been back then maybe a few $1,000.
How much? A few thousand.
$1,000.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, about a tenth of what this is. My money. If you're listening out there, I still remember.
All right, Bob Loki, and that was on Rocket server. Watch out. You know what I'm doing. But yeah, we're getting close to the end of the show. We're dragging a little bit there.
Yes. Is there anything specific we want to cover real quick?
I just want to yell out: World of Warcraft lost 600,000 subscribers.
Wow.
They just announced they lost another 300,000 this year, which makes 600,000 total of this year alone. Which means they're going to lose a lot coming this next winter time with these huge games coming out.
I just think the game's in a fizzle now, honestly.
Patch 4.3 was announced. It's going to be Deathwing, which is going to be the last patch of the entire expansion, so then we're going to have another expansion right after that.
What's Deathwing? I don't play.
Deathwing was the gigantic dragon that destroyed the entire world.
Yeah, dragon guy.
The actual cataclysm.
Oh, that was the cataclysm thing?
Was actually caused by him
that was the one
waking
in the commercial.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, the gigantic dragon named Deathwing. He's waking up. It'll be the raid. Patch 4.3, they're adding other things so you can change the look of your gear. First time that's ever happened. So if you're getting new gear, you can make it look like the awesome Tier 2 was back when Vanilla was out. That gear looked the best. The stuff now does not. That's just my opinion, and like it or not, I like my Tier 2 Paladin gear. Tier 5 Paladin was pretty good, but dragging on. World of Warcraft losing a lot of people. We're probably going to have a whole show about that one time.
Honestly, I mean, I don't think they're going to chart another gain ever at this point. I don't think they have any way to start gaining just because of everything they have coming out after them and the fact that they've just hit that deadline. They're just that old of a game that I don't think it's possible for them to really ever boost their players again.
Well, let me just add that Mists of it's called Mists of Pandaria. It's like the rumored new expansion. Some are thinking that that's gonna,
be the last one.
And kind of supposed to be directed towards the casual market.
Well,
cute
yeah,
little
because
pandas.
what they're doing, we know that they're developing Project Titan.
Mm-hmm.
They've announced it to us a bunch of times. The gigantic when they leaked, somebody leaked Blizzard's release dates for all their games for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's so far been completely correct.
Yeah.
And so we know all the games that are being released, but it does only say Titan on there. So we knew the release date of Diablo 3. We knew the release date of the new StarCraft expansion. We knew all this stuff. We knew the next expansion to World of Warcraft. We knew all the dates, and we still do. But I don't believe that it says anything. Let's see if I can find that. Because,
it's just rumored, of course. But.
Yeah, but it's been right perfectly every time so far. That's pretty huge when you can, leak something like that and still have it perfect.
Yeah.
That's a bad leak for your company if that's what happens. I'm going to assume that if they release all their release dates, not the greatest thing. But the people were talking at Gamescom, some of the big developers talking about it. They didn't mention any of the stuff about all this recent talk about losing so many people. 600,000 people. I'm assuming they probably still have over 10 million.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like a drop in the bucket as far as they're concerned. Not quite that small. But it's still, it's a trend that's continuing. So, that's got nowhere to go, but continuing to grow, really.
And what's funny about that is Age of Conan went free-to-play, and they got 300,000 players just from doing that.
Age of Conan.
Age of Conan is another MMO. It's like the Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, I don't think I've
heard of it. I never heard any real good reviews about it though.
Yeah, no, it was too easy or something.
Yeah,
for people.
There's so many MMOs out there though.
Yeah, and they just announced a couple new ones. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I read some stat if you're incorporating all the crazy, really bad ones out there, that there's more than one new MMO announced every day.
Wow.
They just keep announcing terrible,
Korea,
terrible MMOs all the
Korea
time.
is...
Oh, yeah.
That's where 90% of them are coming from.
Ones come out, yeah.
I can't find that list of games that came out.
All right, well, we're already over, actually.
We're at 6:32. You were listening to 290 terabytes of alternative gaming. We are a video game talk show. We talk about video games, and we do a really good job about it.
You guys do.
Yep.
You do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Our guest host agrees.
And yes, you did a good job, too.
Yes,
We had help this time.
Yep. If
you're here all summer, you can come on again sometime, by the way.
Okay.
Yep. If you loved us, really loved us, please, if you want to, like us on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We would love that. We personally
really
would.
That's almost 100% for us, so we know people actually know we exist.
Yep.
If you you're on the fence about joining it, just do it so that we don't go home and cry every night, really.
Yeah. Unless you want us to.
In which case, you're kind of a mean person, and I'm kind of questioning how you made it to the end of our show.
We don't really want you to like us on Facebook, though. But that being the case, this is our show. I hope you really loved it. If you did, you can still give us a call, too. 715-346-2696. We'll be glad to take it. We'll be playing
we'll be around for a while.
Jazz music and other things, maybe. Thanks for listening to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming here on 90 FM, your only alternative
for gaming. Play us off, Keyboard Cat.